just for a typical night out brow tutorial, I'm going to show you how I go about that. An everyday brow look would be much shorter and not as intense. So this is, like I said, this is just to go out and to have your brows looking like you just did them for the gods. So normally I would use one of my favorite Anastasia's dip brow pomade in the color Ebony, and I use Ebony because I like my brows dark. I feel like I have dark hair, so my brows need to be just as dark. And for the ends, I go in with the black eyeshadow, and I conceal with MAC's NW45. Now this color is, I want to say, about a half a shade lighter than my complexion. And I use my 208 angle brush by MAC. So you gotta excuse my voice because I lost it because I was screaming and hollering when I was out partying last night. So let's get started on these brows here. So just to start, you just want to make sure that your eyebrows are cleaned up. I mean, whatever you do, if you pluck your brows or if you go to the hair salon to get them waxed, whatever you may do, just make sure that your brows are shaped in some type of way. And I'm sweating because it's hot as shit. And taking your dip brow pomade, you're gonna use the angle brush, dip it in your pomade. Just make sure you follow the exact shape of your brow to keep it more natural. And the trick here is for that front portion of your brow, you don't, to like avoid getting that square effect thing, you want to just like feather the natural hairs of your eyebrow, just feather it out so you don't have that hard square look going about right in the front of your eyebrow. You're just going to feather upward. And if you feel like it's getting too dark up there, always you can take your spoolie and it'll like diffuse it for you. You keep brushing it. And I'm going to do the same thing above my brow. And I'm gonna start back here because I don't want that hard line in the front. And then whatever's left off on your angle brush, you're just gonna feather that front part here, and just make it look natural and not so hard. You just want to take and fill in your brow using light feather motions all the way down. For the tail end of my brow, I just like it to be a little bit darker than the front portion here. It just gives me a little bit more of a dramatic look, I guess. I don't know, I just kind of adapted to that. So taking my black eyeshadow, I'm just going to go in with my angle brush and do the same thing to the tail end. So with the concealer, like I said, it's about a half a shade lighter than my own complexion. I'll go right underneath my brow to perfect my brow and make it look more sharp. I'm taking a concealer brush, this is by e.l.f. And I'm going right underneath my brow here and following the same direction of my brows. You feel like it's too light, it's because you're using too light of a concealer. You're gonna have to, I mean, the only way you're going to figure out what the exact concealer you need to use is by trial and error. So buy a concealer. If you feel like it's too light, keep going darker and darker and darker until you find the exact concealer. It took me about 4 times. So just keep on looking. Don't give up. I want you guys walking around with white shit under your eyes. So pet peeve of mine. And then with my booty blender. My beauty blender, I'm going to take and blend it out some more so that it can be even more seamless. Alright, so as you can see, I did my other brow off camera. I don't have on any foundation, it's just brows and concealer underneath my eye. So like I said about your brows, if you feel like that you can never get it right and it's always too light under your brows, it's because you are going too dark, too light on the concealer that you're buying. And I personally like to go like a half a shade. Like I was in that phase where I was going like 2 shades lighter, and I quickly got out of that. But I like to go like at least a half, at the most a half a shade or a shade lighter than my own complexion, and that's how I do my brows.